Welcome to the first ever peer-to-peer podcast on YouTube. My name is Agent Zero, and with me I have
Legend of Winning, aka Low.
We're starting a new podcast. For those of you guys who have been following us for a while, you know we had a podcast last year. And then if you've been following us for a very long time, you know we had a podcast like 4 years ago. It's our annual ritual where we stop a podcast and start a new one. So we had like an odd launch for it. We dropped a couple episodes on all the other platforms, but we didn't drop them on YouTube. And so this is going to be a YouTube exclusive. So you're not going to be able to see this on any other platform, guys.
However, moving forward, we are going to drop it on all of the platforms. So you're going to be able to watch it on YouTube, but also listening to Spotify. But we want to make sure we give you all something exclusive, some type of content on YouTube, so you can subscribe here, keep up to date, and everything else like that. You know,
this is home turf, man.
Facts.
YouTube has to be the home turf.
Because we don't know the Spotify algorithms. We only know YouTube. That's it.
So yeah, there's no, in previous podcasts, it was always basketball. And I kind of realized that was boring.
To you.
Okay, but were you watching fucking Charlotte Hornet games, buddy? No,
but we didn't always have to talk about
you had to know what's going on though. And so I caught myself just watching games of teams I wasn't interested in, and it kind of killed it for me. I was forcing myself at that point because I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. Only team I really want to watch is the Raptors.
So you don't watch basketball?
Oh, I was at the game today, my guy.
No,
Why do you think I got the gear on?
But you don't. But
I was at the game.
So he
today.
just admit he don't really watch basketball. So we had a basketball podcast with somebody who really didn't watch basketball. That's basically what he's saying.
But in the episodes we've recorded so far, we have one with Phantom and one with Duke. There's going to be the next two uploads after this. I've genuinely enjoyed it. It's way more fun talking about the shit that we talked about. And just listening to it back, I was engaged the whole time. It wasn't like, I don't know, man. With their old podcast, I just didn't get that vibe.
Yeah, because you don't watch basketball. You keep
stop saying that because you're trying to push this narrative, but it's not true.
Well, it's not narrative if you openly admit that you didn't watch basketball games.
I said I was forcing myself to watch basketball games. I didn't say I didn't watch them.
But eventually you got to the point where you
I didn't watch them. After I stopped doing the podcast, no cap, I don't think I watched basketball for like 3 weeks. Not the Raptors, not nothing.
You still don't watch basketball.
I was at the game today watching basketball. So I've been on this little, I don't know what to call it, this little exploratory period in my life where, not that.
I'm saying, like, what are you saying? Is your coming out?
No. I phrased that incorrectly. I've been just trying to sit at different locations courtside at basketball games to find out which one is the...
Are you about to brag to me about the different perspectives?
No, it's definitely not a brag. So it's like some are more expensive than others. You have to keep that in mind. Some, you're going to have people's head blocking you, especially if you're 3 rows back on courtside. So I've just literally, since I came to Atlanta, since the tickets are so cheap, I've just been doing that. And I found out the seat I was just sitting at, lower bowl, in the very middle, front row, is the best seat you can get for the money. I got it for $250 each, and there's no one obstructing your view. You're right behind the broadcaster, so Dominique was like an arm's length away from me. Rod Black, Leo Routens. It was the best seat you can get if you don't have $1,000 to sit very front.
Facts.
Just to let y'all know in case you wanted to splurge a little bit on your birthday or something like that. But I've been doing the research for you guys. I've been sitting everywhere. Baseline, in the corner, lower bowl, courtside, and that's what a conclusion I came to. The Raptors won.
Look, I'm not here to talk about that.
Oh, we're not talking about basketball? Actually, you know what? It'd be a relief to not talk about basketball on a podcast.
Oh, we're going to talk about something like basketball. We talking about Steph Curry's dick pic.
Okay.
So all right. No, wait. Here's the thing, because we weren't doing a podcast when the dick pic got leaked, right? And so we've been like purposely not trying to like bring it up with one another just so we can have this conversation.
Why are you lying?
We're not. We were doing a podcast when that leaked.
Damn, but you acting like we just like tried, like it was our intent to talk about this on the podcast.
It is, because here's why. When you're a man, right? Like, follow me for a second now. Wait. When you're a man, right? Like, there's a level of insecurity that you have because you don't necessarily know how big your dick is. Right?
No. Maybe in high school, but not after high school.
But like, how would you know then? Because the only time you see somebody else,
everybody in high school Googled it and they found out what the average was, and I guarantee you, 70% of people were like, "I'm good, I'm straight."
But like, do you really believe it though? Because I just be like, man, is this like, and you just go home and you like measure it out and stuff like that.
You measured?
Isn't that what you just said?
I never measured.
So how would you know?
You could just tell, my guy. Like,
so you can just eyeball what 6 inches look like.
I'm looking at my iPhone and I can get a good idea of how many inches is my iPhone.
That's about a 5-incher right there. Is that what
Absolutely,
you just did?
yeah.
No. So at some point you have to measure. So that we all have rulers.
I know, but I'm saying, is that the measuring tool you use, my guy?
How else would I'm not gonna eyeball a dick. Like I don't know what it is.
What are we talking about right now?
No, that's what I'm saying. So when I saw Curry's dick, I was like,
we were talking about Curry's dick on a podcast.
I'm saying. I was like, because mine is like, if that's that's a 2-time MVP. The first unanimous MVP. If that's 2-time, wait.
Oh man.
If that's 2-time MVP dick, I'm close. I'm close. I'm like an MVP candidate. That's where I'm at right now. I'm close to that. So that really helped me out with my insecurities.
Man.
That really helped me out with my insecurities.
How does all that stuff leak? Is it just on the iCloud and people just yoink that?
Yeah, it would have to be. Yeah.
Why are so? It's been like 5 years of iClouds being hacked. Why do people still put stuff on the iCloud?
How else are they supposed to get it off?
What are you talking about right now, bro? You could just send it to somebody without it being on the cloud.
Yeah, but like if you're like, and we talked about this before, like when you that upper echelon.
No, we haven't. Stop. Don't preface it as if we've had a conversation like this before.
No, when you're that upper echelon of a talent, like you just getting like vagina everywhere.
That's true.
So you just send it out.
Instead of like 1 or 2, he just sends out to everybody.
That's what I'm saying. Instead of keep taking
but he's married,
pictures
though, so
over and over. I mean, okay, what does that mean?
That he's loyal?
Go ask Kevin Hart. Anyway, when you're at that level, you're not taking the pic over and over and over and over and over again. You just have one on file.
Yeah, but why do you have your face in it though? You don't have to put your face in it, man. Like and then
so you know it's 2-time MVP dick.
Okay, but it's assumed that is because nobody has other people's penises on their phone.
I'm not really concerned about all that. I'm concerned like you are about, though. No, I'm just concerned about like when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in the ballpark.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm in the ballpark.
Word.
Like if it's like a chick can't tell me like, oh you got small dick and like I can't take that serious no more. Like I can't, cause I'm like, man, I'm gonna be like, yo, I got like Steph Curry penis right now. All right.
Do you tell people that now?
In my mind, like if a chick tried to like pull that off of me, I'd be like, no, baby girl, listen to this real quick, cause I seen Curry's dick, so I know you about to get at least MVP candidate penis. That's what you're about to get right now. Mm-hmm. So you can't even lie to me. You can't.
Okay, all right, that's good to know. Let's move on to the next topic. I don't know what it is, but it's not this one. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely not that one.
That's how I felt when I saw it. I was like, I bet.
Word. So me and Lo were having a conversation since it's MLK Day. What a segue.
So wow, we're just gonna transition.
Well, what a segue
from one way to another. All right.
Hey, first of all, MLK Day in Atlanta is different because you guys actually celebrate it here. In Toronto, we kind of just like celebrate it.
Why would you all celebrate it?
Because you're acting like his influence stopped at the border. Is that what you think happened?
Yeah, but we don't celebrate Gandhi, so.
Plenty of people around the world celebrate Gandhi.
No, but like in America, it's not like an actual. There's no holiday.
You guys actively quote him on a daily basis.
There's not like a holiday for it though.
Oh yeah.
What?
So no, I'm saying you're right.
Okay.
Okay.
Like,
so anyway, but you guys like genuinely celebrate it here.
Yeah.
So I was at the Hawks Raptors game. It was MLK Day, and it kind of fucked me up a little bit because the game was at 2:30. I've never seen a Monday game at 2:30, so I kind of had to get up immediately when I found that out and leave. But when I went there, it was cool. There was Dominique was right in front of me broadcasting. I think he does it at Fox Sports, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's their sponsor for the. It's not. I should stop lying. We don't have any sponsors. Let me cap right there. But he was watching himself on the Jumbotron, and in the video he was talking about how back when he was in high school playing basketball, there was a black prom and a white prom, and it kind of just like he's right there in front of me. He doesn't even look that old, but when he was my age, he couldn't even be around people of a different skin color. That's crazy. And then to see he's living a life now where not only did he have his career and he was able to accomplish so much there, but even after his career, he's been working in and around the NBA. So it just kind of felt like it was overwhelming that it happened so like a few decades ago.
Yeah, like 50 years ago.
That's insane, man.
And what's even crazier to me is that we have like people in power, like who are like running for president, who are like actively, who are not like, I'm not talking about people who are like 2 or 3 years old when that was going on, like people who were late teens, 20 years old when that stuff was happening. Cause like Trump, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, they're all in their 70s. They were like in their 20s when that stuff was actively happening. So there's just no way that like,
imagine if they have cameras back then.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's just like the mentality, like it happened way too soon for like people to just think the mentality of people just flip that quickly, especially when back then most people were not like on the side of MLK. Even black people were not like.
I just learned that recently.
Yeah, even black people were not champion MLK as a whole. Like it was just a subsection of black people, but the entire country was extremely divided on even the idea of what MLK was pushing.
That's so wild that could be divisive. Because now you just look back and you're like, oh, that was obvious. So it's like, what are we doing right now that's divisive that is going to be obvious to us like 30 years from now?
There's people who like literally like anything that like electric, they're like completely, they don't want any part of it.
Electric, what does that mean?
Like the automotive, like cars, for example.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of people who just don't like
cars,
Teslas.
Oh, electric
because they're electrical cars and they're like self-driving and they're like because they think that it's going to.
Oh, but those are just. I think those are just guys like stuck in the past, which I guess maybe is a symptom of. Yeah,
exactly. Okay. So then it's a group of people who are like don't understand the benefit of having a self-driving car that's going to be way safer than everything else they've.
Word, because just today, bro, no cap, I saw Ford F-150 do a U-turn. And it was cars about to murk him. And I was right there watching it happen.
Yeah.
And they swerved out the way. It was a bloody mess. But the fact that he thought that was a bloody mess.
It was that serious?
Oh, no, there was no blood. That was a euphemism.
Oh, I was like, yo, what are you talking about?
But in my mind, I was like, I watched it go down. And I just thought to myself, I was watching this video on YouTube and he was talking about how to eliminate traffic. And the answer on how to eliminate traffic, which is pretty fucking shitty when you say it out loud, is to stop humans from driving. Just to have self-driving cars.
Exactly.
You would get rid of traffic if there was no human error.
Exactly.
That's unbelievable.
But what's even crazier is that like people are just so like when you bring up like Tesla or anything like that, they can't even comprehend like it even being like a more expensive car than the average like Camry or whatnot.
Yeah.
Without them really recognizing that within a 5 to 10 year span of you owning that Camry, you're going to end up paying more money, or even any car, really.
I'm not gonna lie, Camry was a bad example because every taxi driver in Toronto had a Camry. The little hybrid Camry.
No, I'm talking about a regular.
But yeah, I know what you're saying though. I know what you're saying.
By the time you end up spending gas, oil changes, any like getting a new
word. You don't need an oil change in a Tesla.
Yeah, exactly.
You probably do. It still has an engine.
No, you don't need an oil change.
What?
You don't need an oil change. You don't need a new timing belt. There is no all that stuff that you would normally have to pay for.
Yeah.
In a gas engine, you don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, there are negatives though, but I'm sure as years go on, like
it'll just get better.
Yeah, I've seen like people took a Tesla to the track and in fucking 10 minutes it got too hot, it was overheating.
Yeah.
Like if my M4 overheated at a track, I'll just drive it into a wall. What do you like? You have a performance vehicle that can't perform at a track?
But that's like anything. It's just at the end of the day, it's just still a piece of technology. It's just that we're utilizing the technology in a different way. Yeah. So it's still just like any type of technology is going to have advancements as time continues to progress. But the fact that there's so many people who are against it because they don't like the idea of like just electronic or just things that are just progressing in a different direction that they aren't.
You know what's crazy? So a lot of old people are like that. But
that makes sense.
I think humans aren't as different as people make them seem. So I wouldn't be surprised if we were like that when we're their age. About shit that we had growing up, like video games. Can you imagine if they had like, you ever watched the movie Gamer? It came out like a decade ago, and it was.
I don't know about a decade ago, but okay.
Yeah, it was a decade ago. It was called Gamer. It was the concept was there are people in prison, and you can live out your sentence, or you can opt to be a part of this game. And if you opt to be a part of this game, some rich kid in some 360 VR studio is going to control you.
Yeah.
And you're going to be on a battlefield. And basically, if you survive the 40 people or whatever that are in the game, you get to go free. So 39 people end up dying instead of living out their sentence. That was the premise of the movie. And I remember thinking, like, that would be pretty shitty if video games were like that. But in 40 years, they might be like that. But growing up, I remember playing SOCOM and Halo and sitting down on split screen with my friends. And that's how I remember video games and fun. And we used to do that every day after school. So I wouldn't be surprised if when I was 60, I look back at video games the same way people did, like those platformers. Like,
true, but I still think that we're way more progressive than people back in the day were. And in a sense of us just being more open-minded about things. Because the way that like society is progressing now with just social norms is way faster than it once was. Like literally, gay people went from not having the right to marry to now having the right to marry. Now we're basically
not everywhere.
I'm talking about America more so than anything else.
No, there's plenty of places where they can't do that still.
Oh, it's still states? That's tough. That's tough. But what I'm just saying is, at least we having that conversation. We weren't doing so, and now people are going to the point where now we're talking about transgender people. Like we are like already at that point. Back in the day, it would take them decades to even get to like the concept of believing that someone should even be gay, let alone have the right to
that's so
marry.
wild. That's
so the fact
wild.
that we're already having that conversation, and now we're having a conversation about transgenders, and they're like, because we're just openly having these conversations about things, even when it comes to women's rights. Like back then, it took them decades just to get them to vote. We just went from abortion rights to people taking advantage of them behind the scenes in like film and stuff like that. Like we're openly having those conversations, and because that dialogue is way more open than it once was before, and it's not viewed as taboo, I think we'll just be more progressively thinking. Because when I see things that have progressed in my life, I don't think to myself like, oh, back in my day. I just think like, man, it's crazy how much we've like progressed within a short amount of time, especially when it comes to technology. Because like I be dead ass downstairs on the game. You thinking like, this fucking controller is wireless. That shit be wild to me because
do you remember the first time you got your PS3 and you could just sit back on your couch?
You can just sit anywhere.
Oh man.
Because you used to have to like either like sit mad close to the fucking TV or spread the goddamn console across the whole room with the cord all the way over here and the
your
other
whole
cord,
family's tripping on it.
Yeah, you have to do all of that just to play a PlayStation 2 like in a living room or something like that. But now it's just like you can be in the other room literally playing with it. So I don't sit there and think like, man, these kids these days, they got it so they don't
you're
even
there now.
know.
You're there now, man. Trust me. I think that I think in like 60 years there's gonna be plenty of stuff that we grew up with and we liked it one way, and now it's very different. But then you're gonna have to learn to love the different, or you're just gonna be that person that's stuck up and like that nobody wants to be around because you can keep talking about how it was back then.
I don't think we'll be as bad as they were in prior eras. Because we're just more open.
You know what's crazy? I did that a little bit when I moved here. I moved here 6 months ago to Atlanta, and I found that like most of my conversations went with, oh, back in Toronto. And I was like, I'm not going to keep doing that. Like, now I get that I didn't really at the time have any experiences in Atlanta to reference from. And so every experience I had was from a place that's very different from here. But at the same time, I was like, I don't think people really appreciate having conversations with a guy who keeps referencing some other fucking city every sentence. You know what I mean?
I'm happy you noticed that.
Yeah. Did I do that a lot with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just like, hey, here come this nigga with Toronto.
And now.
We play agent bingo. Watch this nigga bring up something about Toronto. Watch.
No, I'll say this though. Anytime you guys bring up the weather, I always bring up Toronto because I walk out like this, shorts and a tee. And for other people, that's crazy. But for me, no, it's shorts and tee weather. It's not freezing.
I do the same thing when you and Willie were like talking about the summer, and it wasn't even that hot of a summer.
Here's the thing. No, it is an adjustment, but I rarely complained about the summer. I actually don't mind really hot weather. I'll sweat a lot, and then they'll meme me
you
for
used
it.
to be like, man, just hot as hell. You be sweating. I'd be like, man, it's really
but that's the only
hot.
time I think I would talk about it is when I think I would sweat on a video. If I was just sweating in my room, I really didn't give a shit.
Trust me when I say you're not going to hear too much out of this weather because it's only gonna last like another month, and then it's gonna be done. Yeah, like cold. The winter in Atlanta is like literally 2 months, and then that's it.
This. First of all, this is not winter. This is like early spring because it's raining so much.
No,
I guarantee you, this is not winter.
40 degrees.
Not winter, bro.
Early spring to us is like 80.
That sounds like a good summer day to me, man.
No, early spring is like 80 degrees.
So I was watching this video on Instagram earlier today. No, I think I told you about it. There was this. No, I didn't tell you about it. I think there was this dude talking to Gary Vaynerchuk, and he was saying it was the first guy to ever walk across the Antarctic. The Antarctic. Did I just lose brain cells?
Yeah, you did.
And all of them lost brain cells. My bad, y'all. Antarctica, completely unaided. And it's fucking freezing. And it's not like there's yeah. And it's not like there's any roads or anything. Mm-hmm. So you're climbing up like terrain, my guy. Mm-hmm. There was a guy on YouTube who climbed, like he walked across I don't know, some place in Europe. It wasn't a big country, it was a small country, but he uploaded the whole thing walking in a straight line. And I thought it was fascinating. So I'm thinking to myself, this guy walking across Antarctica must have been a mission. And everyone asked him, how did you not freeze to death? Unaided. Must have been really cold. I'm going to let you guys know right now, this might be a controversial opinion to some, but cold doesn't exist.
Okay.
It doesn't exist.
Cold doesn't.
Feeling cold is in your brain. That's not an actual thing that exists.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so this is what happened to me.
Yeah, let me hear it. All right, let me hear what you guys
When I was like 13 or 14, I went to this community center by my house.
Okay.
We used to go there on Saturdays and play basketball and shit.
Okay.
But back then, I was like, I lived in a really big bubble where like I just did the same things every day, so I didn't know anything outside those things. So
you were sheltered. Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah, sure.
You were.
So one day,
that's what that means.
So one day, my mom couldn't pick me up. I was like, I'll take the bus, easy. And I used to take the bus on weekdays, and it was valid because there's more routes. But on the weekends, the routes were changed, and I was afraid to ask anybody, so I didn't know what to say. And I missed my last bus, but I didn't know I did. So I was like, I'll just wait for an hour to see if I missed the bus. So I stood there, and the bus stop is freezing. Hey Google, what's negative 10 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
Minus 10 degrees Celsius is equal to 14 degrees Fahrenheit.
14. So it was 14 degrees, mad windy, it was snowing, and like I was dying. I couldn't feel my limbs, but I needed to wait there because if the bus came and I missed it, it might have been the last bus. So an hour passed, an hour and 45 minutes passed, and then at that point, like, it was a game. I was like, all right, I'm not cold. And I started to not feel cold, but you truly had to convince yourself that you're not feeling it. So although I could barely feel my limbs and there's probably a lot of impact that's having on my body, I didn't feel it. So I ended up waving a car down and I was like, hey, could you drop me off at another bus stop where I know how to get home? And the guy didn't drop me off at the right location. And so I had to walk like 50.
How old were you?
I was like 15.
That's a real conversation there. Like,
yeah, I know.
You just let a man just pick you up?
Yes, I was. Well, when you're out in the cold for an hour and 45 minutes, you're down for anything. So he could have been like, okay, I have candy. Right. And I'll be like, all right, nigga, candy and warmth? Get me in there.
Canada is a totally different world. Let me just say that right now. I don't care how old I am. I'm not asking no man to pull over.
But I was desperate and I was so shy back then. I didn't even want to ask for help because I was like, oh, what are they going to think? But it's like, they're going to think it's a 15-year-old kid lost. What the fuck else could they possibly think? So anyway, I walked like 10, 15 minutes to the next bus station after he missed the drop-off location. This is my fault. I should have been more descriptive. And at that next bus stop location, it's a straight line drive to my house, but it's like a 10-minute drive. And I realized that bus, I also missed the last one. It was like 6 p.m. and the bus system is horrible where I grew up. It's not as bad as it is here.
Yeah, this is really bad.
But it's bad relative to like most city standards.
Okay.
And I just froze and I was like, okay, I have no option. I started to walk. Now, 3 minutes into my walk home, keep in mind, it's going to be like an hour and a half walk. 3 minutes into my walk home and I didn't have a cell phone or nothing because I was 15 and my mom was like, no, my parents both didn't want to give me a cell phone. That's fucked up.
I would have been start walking.
Yeah, so I started walking. Not 3 minutes after I started walking, the bus came by, and I was and at that point, I was waving down any car. It could have been anybody. I was gonna say some fucked up shit, and I would have got in the way. Just take me to the destination.
Yo.
So eventually, I walked all the way home, and it took me like 3-4 hours to defrost. and I still couldn't feel most of my limbs the next day. But after that moment, I realized that cold isn't really real, because after the first,
where were your parents at?
they didn't know. They just figured I was playing basketball. I told them I was going to the rec and I was going to be back later. And so they were like, all right, I'll take the bus. Bet. That's all they needed to know. So in their mind, I was just playing basketball the whole time.
So there's no like time when you get off? Like they
Oh, no. Basketball goes on for a long time sometimes.
I get that, but it's like they didn't say like, hey, yo, just make sure you home by 8.
Nah.
Yeah, you lived in a totally different lifestyle.
So I started doing that. I would like just walk out in freezing temperatures in shorts and a t-shirt. And I'd just be like, this isn't cold. And the thing is, it was cold. But as long as I told myself it wasn't cold, I wouldn't feel it. And I don't know how to explain it other than that. So when I walk out in shorts and a tee, people think I'm crazy. And like some people don't believe that I don't feel it, but I genuinely don't feel it. So anyway, that's truly what I believe. I don't know if the same could go for warmth. I'd probably die if you put me under like a microwave type heat. Like, do you ever play Metal Gear Solid 4?
No, but everything you just said is just stupid. Literally every
Try
single.
it. I guarantee you.
I'm not going outside trying to tell myself like, no, this ain't cold, man.
But it's like taking a cold shower.
No, what? That's still cold.
Except way worse.
It's still cold though.
I know, but the point is once you get used to the pain, you don't feel it anymore.
So, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't exist to you, and that's why you don't feel the pain.
So you think cold is just a mental concept?
No, I think cold is a real thing, unless you don't want it to be.
So a mental concept.
So the reality is I could have got frostbite, and I could have lost. There's plenty of shit that could have went wrong.
Okay.
But that's
nothing you're saying.
That's gonna happen regardless. I was lost and walking home in the winter. It was gonna happen regardless. I might as well not feel cold while it's happening.
There's so many things that's wrong with you saying.
I'm trying to think of.
I'm not really even concerned about you, like feeling cold and not feeling cold.
But that is important.
You weren't concerned about feeling cold because you were lost. That's what you was way more concerned.
No. I knew where I was.
I mean, not lost, but you were more so concerned about just trying to get home.
Yes.
Okay, then. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It just means that there was something else that took control, that had a higher priority to you.
Okay, I see what you're saying. But even past that, though, I'm saying from that point forward, you couldn't catch me in jeans no more. I didn't need them. You couldn't catch me in snow pants as a kid no more. I didn't need them. Now, anytime I'm outside for less than 30 minutes, I don't give a fuck how cold it is. If it's under 30 minutes, I don't need to bring any warmth.
Again, stupid. Because there's so many other things in that story I'm concerned about. Like the fact that you just like, you're 15 and a man is like, just imagine a man like, oof.
He didn't say oof. He saw
No, I'm just talking about before you got in the car, he was like, was that a little boy waving me down? And it's cold? He was probably having a field day.
No, man. It was just some nice guy who offered to drop me off. Shout out to him, though.
Okay, all right. That's how you wave on?
Yeah, because
when you got out of the car, what did he say? Like, what's your name? Like,
no, he didn't say none of that. Look, why do you think everybody's a pedophile?
Because who picks up 15-year-olds?
A concerned citizen.
Would you?
Absolutely.
Well, I wouldn't.
If you saw a 15-year-old kid shivering in the fucking...
I would call
honestly, that looks like a setup. That looks like a setup.
Exactly.
But then I'll be concerned for me, not for him.
I'll call the police.
Yeah, word. How did nobody call the police? What the?
That's what I'm saying. You live in a totally different world. If there's a 15-year-old child just like cold...
Yeah.
I'm not picking him up.
I'll pick him up.
I'll be like, yo, you good? He'd be like, man, I'm cold, man. I'm gonna call the police for you, man. Stay safe. And then just drive off. Like, that's it. I'm not about to pull over and be like, hey, man, hop in.
You know what's crazy?
It's nice and warm in my car. Come on.
No, he didn't say that. He was just like, hey, you need some help? And I was like, yes. Very badly.
Whoa, he approached you?
No, but I waved him down, and then he asked, like, you need some help?
Oh, he's still a pedophile.
Isn't that crazy that if you're a grown person, even if you're trying to help out someone in need, if they're like under the age of 18, you're a pedophile now? It's like,
especially if you're a man, yeah.
No, I hate that's a thing. I feel like I can't even look at kids no more because a parent might look at me like, oh, what do you want with him? Like, I don't know. Like, he's 2. The babies are cute. I can't look at a cute baby from afar. What the fuck is going on?
You like him that young?
No, but it's like it's disappointing that's the thing. That's the way it is now.
I don't think 2-year-olds is too young, but like if it's like 7 to like 16, you're a creep.
Okay, no, I still don't see it like that. I was at the Hawks game and there was this cute baby. This dad was holding him.
Okay, but if it's a baby, it doesn't matter. It's just a baby. It's a baby. Babies can be cute.
So if I got lost at a mall, I'd hope that even if it was a guy that found me, that he would help me find my fucking parents, man. I'd hope they wouldn't just all walk by me because...
But there's a difference between helping you find your parents in the mall than, hey, hop in my car, man.
No, yes, there is a difference. In the mall, you're safe. In the freezing temperatures with shorts and a tee, you're not safe.
But what I'm saying is, in a mall, there's enough people to watch what's going on to make sure you don't get abducted.
No, not everybody's a predator,
when you're out and about,
damn.
and you're just on the corner looking like a fucking prostitute, and he's just like, yeah, come in my car.
You know what's crazy? I just found out a couple months ago. They have like those registries where everybody who has like all the predators, and it's fucking scary how many of them, and it'll tell you where they, like how close they are to your house and all that.
Yeah, there's like 3 in this neighborhood.
There's plenty in like the 2-mile radius. And you wouldn't think that because we live in like a mad suburban area, man. It's supposed to be like...
That's who's supposed to be doing it.
Word?
Yeah, that's who's
so
doing it.
I was looking at the list. Someone was showing me the list and I was like, oh nah. That's
Who was showing
0.5.
you that list? What the hell?
I was... Long story. Anyway, I was like, I didn't know that thing existed. So I was like, oh, this is a real problem. Now I get why.
Yeah.
Now I get that.
But like, especially like recently, like there's been a lot of like little girls have been abducted in Atlanta.
Oh, word. I heard that's a problem here.
Yeah.
Like to the point where
sex trafficking is
I see a lot of advertisements about it.
Yeah.
Like if you see something, say something.
Yeah, because like in Atlanta, like the Interstate 20 and 75 and 85, 75, 85 go all the way from Florida to like Michigan.
What?
Yeah.
How? It goes vertical across Atlanta. It's such an odd trajectory.
Yeah. It'll go all the way up. And actually one of them will go all the way to like the line between like Detroit and Canada.
Seriously?
Yeah. And then,
what? I can just take one highway down here?
Practically, yeah. And then I-20 goes from, I want to say Virginia all the way to Texas.
Say word.
So basically...
So you could just take that one highway.
Yeah, they have a lot of trafficking that happens in Atlanta, and you can just go from practically almost anywhere.
That's wild.
Almost in the country. So yeah, trafficking is like really, really crazy in Atlanta. So that's why when you sit there and say, hey man, you know, just hop in the car.
But like you have to think about where I live though. It was suburbia, like to the point where in the mornings, all the Chinese grandparents, the old Chinese people, they do their dances with their fans and they play the music and like in the school. They do it at parks or elementary schools like at 7 a.m. And if you went early, you could see them do that. Or after school. That's where I live, man.
Yo, does that mean the battery about to die?
It does mean the battery's about to die.
Jesus Christ.
We'll take care of that. All right, the battery's back in. Probably should have took care of that to start the pod.
Yeah, you definitely should have. Yo, we need to talk about these bad content creators, bro. Some of that. Yo,
what a segue.
The thing that I'm really getting annoyed with when it comes to YouTube is that, and it's not even, I think it may be a YouTube problem. YouTube promotes
horrible content. Horrible.
It's ridiculous, and it's part of like just the algorithm and people trying to like best the system just so they can just upload really, really bad, shitty content
and spam it.
And just spam it as much as possible. But like the content that some people be uploading is just, it's really bad. And then sometimes I really want to know, like, does the audience
know that it's bad?
Yeah, no.
But it's kids though, so it's like for them that's not. They don't really care. Like if I'm 23 and I think something's good, someone who's 10 is gonna think very different thing is good, and so they might not be able to tell that it was fake or that nothing he says is authentic or she. We made it a ritual at our house at this point. We just sit down like once a week, gather our friends, and just watch horrible videos.
I think that's very true. But I think there's a difference between like knowing the content is bad or like purposely making bad content, and then there's another step of just like you didn't even like really prepare for the content or you didn't really put that much effort into the content, and you know for a fact you can do better, but you just decide not to because you're just trying to figure out the least amount of effort as possible.
But that's what most people I'd say.
But like annoying TV, terrible content. He just makes horrible content. But sometimes the content is so bad that it's actually hilarious. So that's how bad it is.
Okay,
So
I fucked with annoying, but there was that one video we were watching where he was crying about Nadex being terminated, and we were laughing fucking hysterically because he was just like smashing the camera in his face to let people know he was really crying and like forcing tears, and it was just it was like, what the fuck did I just watch?
So then it's like well, no, something like that. But then it's also like videos where some people upload where, again, like you just didn't even plan it. So you just had an idea. You didn't really think about it. There just wasn't no direction.
But that's probably part of their like intrigue, though. Like, not to say Solo Illuminati makes bad content. I think he makes fantastic. It's low effort, but it's fantastic content. But he doesn't plan at all. And there was a moment where like he thought it was a valid idea to edit his videos, and it just did not come across well. And I was like, nah, go back to like not editing.
But no, I'm talking about that. I'm talking about like going back to annoying TV and the really bad content he makes. So when you like annoying TV, he'll make content, right? And like
you watch him like regularly?
Yeah, like one of my favorite videos on YouTube right now is annoying TV trying to be Lil Tecca.
Oh,
that is the greatest. That's the greatest. One of the greatest.
Yeah, I swear to God, I wish you could pull it up right now.
That's one of the greatest videos of all time, and the reason why it's so funny is because in the video itself, you can clearly tell it wasn't planned
at all.
So like, he doesn't have a mic wired on himself. So the camera is like 30 feet away trying to like find him.
But I'll say this, because there was a lot that was wrong with that video, but I've had videos where everything went wrong and I just didn't post them. So
But that's what I'm saying. It's okay if you go out there and you fail and you like, okay, this isn't going to be good enough content. Let me regroup and figure out how to make it better and then upload the better format of it. Yeah. But why would you upload the trash part of it? Why would you upload it?
That's the fucked up part about YouTube. No, it's not fucked up. I guess it's just the way things are. And I realized early on, like, I can't complain about the way things are. If I'm not adjusting, then you're eventually gonna end up dying. But I was watching, like, just think about.
Say who that terrible content is.
No, I had a train of thought and I lost it, so I'm trying to transition.
Okay.
But there's plenty of horrible content out there.
One. Yeah, you pussy. You ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it.
No, because you just mentioned annoying, and I'm trying to think of somebody that's made a video equally as horrible.
We was watching it not too long ago.
Who?
They're the 1v1.
Oh.
So say it, because you're not gonna say it. You're not gonna say it. You're not.
But it's like, all right.
You're not gonna say it. You're not gonna say it.
I'll say this though. As a content creator, I think you have blinders on when it comes to self-assessing your own content. There's videos of mine that in the moment I was like, yo, this was it. But looking back, it was mad corny or cringy.
No, yeah.
So I think that's just what they're going through. But I think part of that process should be, you should have people around you to let you know that, yo, that's a horrible video. Like when Phantom uploaded that one video where he was playing 3v3 on the My Court on 2K, and there was like the other team, there was no party audio. It was just Phantom's audio.
Yeah.
You couldn't hear anyone else, and it was no energy, no editing, no music. We memed him for the better part of 5 months that he dropped that video. Because I know he was in a tough spot in his life at the time, but I don't give a fuck what you're going through. If you're around me, I'm going to let you know when you dropped a horrible video. And if you don't have people like that around you, then you're going to run into situations where you upload some shit that's flat out horrible and nobody told you about that.
But in the annoying video, I think he actually wrapped it up by saying all the things that were wrong with the video.
But I don't think you realize how wrong it was.
So, but if you recognize like these things are going to be a problem while you're doing it. And then one thing I always give credit to YouTubers is that when it comes to us creating content, we have to be everything. Like we have to be the people who write the script, the director, the on-air personality. We have to do all of that. So and the cameraman a lot of time as well. So when we're learning things, how to make the content better, a lot of times on the fly. When you're on a movie set and you're reading a script or you're reading a line, the director can stop you and say, on camera, this doesn't look good because of X, Y, Z. So a lot of the stuff that we're doing is really just trial and error, quite frankly.
Nah, but I'm saying still, you should have someone along that process. Willie'll tell me if I did something horribly.
But you have someone else to look at it though.
Yeah, I do.
And so there's a lot of people who don't. And so what I'm saying is I give people slack for that, and you kind of get to that point. But when you're at a point where you've been uploading content for a while
and you still do that,
and you still don't do it, and you just stop, you don't plan because you're just trying to rush out a video because you're trying to just keep spamming.
Yo, but that's the reality though, because a lot of people do that. But if
name one, just name one. Name one because I don't know what you're talking about.
Think of making videos, there's plenty. Trust me. When I think of making videos, the sad reality is I can't even, if let's say I want to make a pro-am video on NBA 2K20.
Yeah.
I can't do that before I first think of a potential title and a potential thumbnail.
Exactly.
Because, for example, I did a video where I did like an NBA 2K talent show on Discord, and I was so proud of my fucking performance in that video. When I mean I just killed it, I was on my game. Like, I feel like of all the videos since 2K20 release, that was the one I was most proud of, and it was my worst performing one since the game launched.
Jeez.
But it's because I thought of the video idea and I knew it was going to be a good idea, and the people who watched it enjoyed it, but a lot of people didn't click on it because it just didn't have a good thumbnail and title. So there's a lot of people like that annoying video where he pretended to be Lil Tecca, where he did have a good title and a thumbnail that was going to hit. But then once you click the video, the content was unorganized and like the audio was bad, and like you couldn't even see the reactions. It felt like a video you would expect somebody who just started YouTube to make, and you shouldn't. At least someone who's been a veteran, he's been doing it for a while. I will say this though, he does have a YouTube channel that's popping, but he is mainly on Twitch. So I think most people that blow up off Twitch don't know how to turn on their YouTube self sometimes and like think about how it's gonna look when you edit it. You know what I mean?
Even on my first, it wasn't my first video, but even on my Curry video that blew up, my first video that really blew up, to even get to that point, the amount of times that I re-recorded that and the amount of times that I edited and stuff like that just to get it to where I needed to get to. And then there's certain times where I just spend a day dedicating to try to understand different ways to like edit and stuff like that.
Yes.
So like there's time out of the day, but what ends up happening is, and again, in the big picture, it's not really a content creator problem. I don't believe. I think it's more so. I think YouTube and the algorithm plays way more of a bigger role in it because everyone is just trying to feed the algorithm constantly rather than trying to perfect the craft of actually becoming a content creator on YouTube. So I think that's a bigger problem. But I just like it's almost bothersome when I just sit there and I'm like, I have to compete with people who just upload, who just spam
with good titles,
bad content, especially like now I'm starting to see in the NBA community where like people are not even like really researching that much.
It's getting bad in the NBA
and they're just like uploading things, and half of the things are either lies or things that just can't actually happen.
So it's to the point where, and I don't know if you guys really understand what he's saying. There's people that will like Photoshop a thumbnail to make it look like Stephen Curry went to a different team, and they'll be like, Stephen Curry is now on this team, and that'll be the actual title. And people will click on it expecting like a trade. Like, how am I hearing about it first on this random YouTube channel? I think his name is like
Rebound Central. You make terrible content, like just flat out.
Is that what his name is? Yeah, but it's not just one of them. There's plenty of there's not plenty, but there's a handful of them.
More people starting to come into it, and then it's also like other content creators who like have opinions, and it's fine to have an opinion. It's cool to like share your thoughts or whatever. But it's just like, just take the time out to actually educate yourself on what's going on, so you can at least, when you saying things, inform yourself. And I'm not even really talking about some content creators who just may be misinformed and are just saying things that they think is correct and it's not actually correct. I'm talking about people who genuinely uploaded content and it's very clear from beginning to end.
They were trying to lie about it.
You're just BSing. You're just lying. You're just trying to come up with something, and you're rambling to make the video 10 minutes longer. Like stuff like that. Like I'm doing a video right now where I'm doing like a lot of research for the video, and in that video I'm watching other content creators, and there's just like some of the worst content imaginable to the point where there's literally people who have like a 6-7 minute video and they'll like leave a blank screen for the rest of the video just so you can get the 10 minutes long.
That's wild. That's
stuff like that is just like irritating. So name, you got one on the top of your head that you thinking about?
Nah, I don't, man.
You don't have none?
You know, we'll get to that at a different moment in life. But
see, you
but
pussy.
we do. It's not about being pussy. It's about
but you say you're going to.
No, I definitely.
If I bring it up, then you'll talk about it.
I'll say this.
I'll bring him up. Don't worry about it.
I'll say this.
Okay, exactly.
I'll say this. we like to invite people to the house every once in a while, and we'll just sit down and turn on YouTube. And there's content so bad that it's quite possibly the most entertaining thing imaginable.
Therapeutic
Because it's so bad that I would have preferred to watch that than a really good video. So like when Mr. Beast blows up,
name one though. Name one.
there's plenty of those. When Mr. Beast blows up, there's a lot of people that start to poke apart his content and take his best ideas and run it on their channels to see if it performs. Even I did some of that. I did Last to Stop playing 2K. Last to Stop. I don't think Mr. Beast is the one who started it, but he's definitely the one who popularized it.
Yeah.
And those videos blew the fuck up. And for a while, it was the best performing video on my channel. But so when a player like Mr. Beast blows up, it actually inspires more good content creators because they're like, oh, I would love to be doing what he's doing. But then when you see, like, you know how I had that feud with Crashy Lion?
Oh, yeah.
We just kind of poked fun at each other. But basically, if you guys don't know who he is, he just makes fake glitch videos. Well, he'll pretend like he knows how to get you V-Bucks on Fortnite or VC on 2K. And he'll just lie about it. He'll be like, all right, now click X. And he'll he'll cut the part out and then put another part. And now this screen will pop up and you got your VC. And people will click on that and his channel blew up. So it's like when Crashy Lions blow up, more of him spawn. So it's like when you see bad content blow up, just know that it inspired dozens of more people to do the same thing, or at least try and do the same thing.
Facts. And what's even scary is that, again, it's just all part of the algorithm and people trying to game it and stuff like that. And so now you're just having more and more people believing that that's what's
gonna blow up.
That's not only what's gonna blow up, but that's what a YouTube content creator is. Because I had plenty of people, because behind the scenes I've talked to, like major companies within like the basketball community, and their the reason why they're very, very cautious about dealing with YouTube content creators is because there's so many people who can just oversaturate the market. Just talking they don't bullshit. They don't actually have good content out there, and so then that becomes a new face of what an NBA content creator is.
I'll say this though, there are people just making fake videos in your community.
Yeah,
but the top guys like Jimmy High Roller, I'd say he makes really good content.
Yeah.
And so I guess
I'm happy for the people who are really high, because even if I disagree with Jimmy High Roller or Kazimba or Kenny, King of the Fourth Quarter, I mean the content is still high enough quality to where I don't mind it being on the platform, and I don't mind that being a representation of us. But Jimmy High Roller, and like similar to me, we don't upload every day or even every other day.
Yeah, you can't.
So yeah, exactly. Like literally, you can't do that unless you even if you're doing like news videos, you would have to do some type of research to where unless you have a team behind you, you would have to upload every other day. I think you should
though. I've been trying to convince Lo to just gather people, like get some kind of researcher, but it has to be a guy who knows basketball better than you. Exactly. Because last thing you want is him to give you some information and you don't double check it.
Yeah.
And
or it's even worse if I'm looking at it, I'm like, no, this is wrong.
Yeah, because then he's fired.
Exactly.
So I know, but like think about how game theorist Matt Pat, he does that, where you have to know his genre. If you even get the slightest detail wrong, that's what every comment's gonna be about.
Yeah.
And he has a team of researchers, but he makes sure he double checks everything. I know The Score is like a company. They're really big in Canada, by the way. It's like Sports Center of Canada, The Score. But they came up with their esports division, and it's probably one of the biggest esport related media companies on YouTube, and they make fantastic content. You should generally check them out, but they come out with frequent uploads, very high quality, but it's because they have a whole squad of people researching. They have a host, they have editors, but it's like once you get into the flow of just outsourcing all that stuff, you could really start to pump out good, accurate content way faster.
Yeah, which I've already started doing that with the editor, because I have an editor now, but just flat out, just even the whole research process alone can take a while to even get to.
It's good for you to still research.
But I'm just saying before you even could record or even like make sure you put the video in a certain direction and all that stuff. Yeah, before you even do that, your researching is still going to take some time. Depends, but it's to take some time. But it's just funny to me. Bad content creators is hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Are you gonna name one?
Oh, there's plenty of them.
Just off the top of your head.
There's thousands of them.
You don't want to.
There's so many.
Yeah, I'll give you another one. Real quick. So who we watching? You want to?
There was okay. I don't know which
You
one
don't
you're
want to
gonna bring
say.
up.
You don't want to. No, if you don't want to say it, you don't want to feel uncomfortable
because the
they're gonna
topic,
get at.
the one I'm thinking about, the topic he was making the video about was really personal, but it was horrible. The video was objectively the video was horrible.
Who is this?
After we watched the.
I'm talking about the 1v1.
Oh, okay, that's completely different. Oh no, that's fine. I thought you were talking about. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no. So who is that? Who was on the 1v1?
We watched multiple, so you're gonna have to let me know.
He not gonna say it because you don't want that smoke.
The thing is, it's not really about smoke. I oddly have no drama with anybody. For a person who think about the position I put myself in, and not only
So let's start it up right now. Say it.
not only am I never in drama, but I'm associated with all the drama.
Oh, I know a video you was talking about before. No, I wasn't gonna say.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one, but I didn't want to say that one. But yeah,
No, not that. No.
the few people I've had a problem with over my time on YouTube, they don't exist anymore on YouTube.
Even though I'm not like in the whole 2K community or in that whole like light, it's just funny just watching like some of those people,
Yeah,
especially just like bad content. It's just hilarious.
yeah.
It's a pastime.
Oh, for sure.
It's a
I'm telling you guys right now, just find some horrible content creators and subscribe, put on post notifications, because you.
I'm post noties on Annoying TV.
for real?
I'm post noties.
Are you really?
Oh yeah, when he drop a
I can't
video.
tell you're serious.
Oh, I'm serious.
Oh man.
When he drop a video, I'm watching it. I'm watching it so I understand what not to do. On my next upload, he inspires me like, man, I really don't need to do that. When he gives me the blueprint of what not to do in my videos.
Yo, you violated today.
I'm just saying.
Nah, but that's valid. still.
Imagine if I wanted to do like a DJ Khaled, I just like DJ Khaled video, and I'm doing all the stuff that he's doing.
Oh, do you remember the?
So now I know how to prepare myself because this is what Annoying TV didn't do.
Dude, so that's what you gotta be
Come
doing.
on. Shout out to Annoying TV, yo.
He's gonna watch this video most likely, and he might be pissed, but I think someone should tell you when your content is not good. And that Lil Tecca video was flat out horrible. And to a degree that I haven't really seen on YouTube in a while. There was just so much wrong with it that I could have possibly put it all in one
It
video.
was so bad that as a content creator, I would be embarrassed if I uploaded
Like
it.
flat out, okay. Oh my God. Do you remember the video where, I don't know if you've seen it, but Waleed's seen it and a few other people seen it, where Nadex sent a video to his editor and then his editor edited it, but Nadex didn't look at the video, which by the way, you should always do. Always watch your editor's shit. Because
Always watch your own shit when you get done editing.
Yes. And before he uploaded it, and then an hour later, he was looking at the comments and he was pissed because everyone was like, yo, this is the worst video I've ever seen. And it was like a workout video, but like the music was mad loud while he was talking. It was, think about the worst type of workout video. And it had corny memes, like to the point where it had so many errors, you would have thought like it was the person's first time editing.
I like the overtime video.
Which video?
The 1v1 overtime video?
They only uploaded 2 videos.
Oh. Who was that? Who was in overtime and played Mopey?
Hank.
Yeah, Hank and
not an
Moby.
overtime video.
Yeah, okay, it wasn't overtime. I think it was Hank or Moby's video. Yeah, that video.
Yeah, that was
an egregious one.
Yeah, you like I'll say like, okay, like the fact that we had to say this on a pod. If you are recording in a basketball court, don't use the default mic on your camera. God damn, put like a shotgun mic on it or something.
Or let the cameraman come closer to the action.
Yeah, I don't know.
So he can get the audio of y'all talking.
I'll say this. I'm not because I think Mopey flew in to play Hank 1v1.
He flew in for that?
Yeah, because I think I think overtime went to LA, if I'm not mistaken.
Because I think all of them were there, like Cash.
But I'm saying that's not a thing you can repeat because one of them lives in LA and one of them lives in Miami. Okay, so what I'm saying is they can't reshoot that video. And so there's plenty of times where I gave somebody a camera thinking, all you had to do is hold it, and they managed to fuck it up. So you wouldn't believe how hard it is to find somebody competent enough to, because when you're recording YouTube videos, it's fairly simple, right? You want to make sure it's in focus. If you have a good camera, you don't have to worry about that.
But there
you
was
make sure
more than just that.
But it's like, don't be recording. Don't do one of these. You can't be doing some of these right here because it's not a good look for you. So I'll give you a breakdown because I never want to have. Well, I actually would love to watch more of those types of videos. But for the sake of other people's content, I'm gonna break down how to work the camera. You see the ring right here? You zoom in on. Make sure every once in a while you catch a zoom because the person that's giving the content, let's say you're speaking, it is your responsibility to be engaging, but the cameraman can also do things to be engaging. So you don't want it to be too steady. You don't want it to be on a tripod. That's boring. Give your content some fucking life. Do a couple zooms. Zoom, 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 and give it some angles. Give it some angles. And I promise
he was standing in the same spot. He basically they would have better content if it was just on a tripod.
They should have put it on a tripod
because he just stood in the same spot.
Yes. So it's like if you don't know how to capture content, and the thing is, it's not hard. And honestly, I pride myself in being able to do it really well. And I think I mentioned this to you a couple times too. And I went to that Logan Paul KSI fight. I had pulled out my camera. I was recording for Instagram, and I'm pretty wavy when it comes to the zooms. I'm gonna keep it a beam with you. In fact, let me just post this on the gram. Hey, what's good, Instagram? We're here on the. Am I not?
Man,
I can't do this.
You better. I thought you were joking for a second. Yeah, cut that out.
I'm gonna post that though. I just saved it for now. But I'm so good at capturing content to the point where not only did KSI take my clip and put it in his music video, but the clip that was used across Twitter and even Keemstar posted it was my footage on my Instagram story. Because I was just boom, captured Harry celebrating, boom, captured this, boom, captured me, boom, captured the moment. But it's like, how long have you been fucking creating content? You don't know how to do that? You don't know how to capture the content? That's why I love Waleed so much. Because you just have to have an eye for it. And it's not really complicated, but once you've been around it enough times, you should know what to look for.
What I'm saying. If I'm not going to sit here and say that about someone who just started.
Yes, that's fine.
We've literally, we're talking about people who've been doing this for years. We're not talking about someone who just, if it was someone who just started, I might even, like you said, hit you up in the DMs and say, hey, yo, next time when you do XYZ, do yada, yada, yada.
Yes.
To kind of help you out.
Yes.
We're talking about people who've been doing this for years now. So if you got the content back, and I understand what you're saying, they weren't in the same state, but like you should already get an understanding, especially because Flight does 1v1s all the time. So you should already have an understanding of what a well-executed 1v1 looks like, especially if it's going to be somewhat of a meme anyway. So why would you not, like, it's okay, like, shit to the point where if it's going to turn out the way that it turned out when the dude was all the way at half court and they're posting up and I can barely see what's going on, and then like all like
shaky, the audio was shaky, bad.
The audio was bad.
And there was like a clip where it just went black and they were like, oh yeah, the camera stopped. And they do you remember that part where they're like the camera just stopped?
Imagine us, the battery just died and I just like, yeah, the camera stopped.
But then we kept talking for like 10 minutes before we booked it.
Yeah, like what? Like, come on now.
Anyway, all to say, like, if you are going to create horrible content, just know we're going to be enjoying it. But please don't create that content because your audience probably doesn't enjoy it as much as we do.
That's what I want. I want to know what the audience retention is for some of these content.
I would die to know some of that information.
Because my audience retention apparently is like either average to above high.
Yeah, yours is very good.
Yeah. So the fact that it's like, and people are like, first, everybody trying to figure out like, oh, you just hating. Trust me when I say the views don't really determine how much money you get paid. So I'm definitely, I'm not really concerned about who making money or whatnot. Trust me, I'm not.
You know what's crazy? I forgot what I was gonna say, but it was crazy when I had it in my mind, bro. No cap.
Okay, all right, yeah, crazy.
Wait, wild, crazy.
Ooh, crazy.
Shit was wild.
Crazy. Look, but to the people out there, I don't want to discourage nobody from making content because, you know, it's all love if you make good content.
Word.
But if you making bad content, you already see I'm going to say something. He might not say something.
I just said bear shit.
No, you didn't say another name. Say one name.
J Fox. Now, I'll say this. Okay, J Fox had that one video.
Oh, stop!
You guys don't know who J Fox is.
Was this not a video you didn't want to talk about?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna talk about that right now.
Oh, okay.
J Fox made a video. He was the first 99 overall, which is the highest rank in NBA 2K for those who don't follow me. In NBA 2K19, and so like he got like a little spike in viewership. But then the other week we just ran across a video that was so fucking bad from J Fox. Because he made that one battle rap video,
which is amazing,
which was so incredible. I swear it's one of the most iconic videos in 2K history, and I'm gonna remind people of that soon in a video because it was just really, really good.
Yeah.
But there was a few videos I seen from J Fox where I was just like, bro, is he even trying? But I get that sometimes that could be the appeal for people, them not trying. But it has to be working. If you're not trying and that's supposed to be your appeal, but it's not working, then you should probably start trying.
No, that means that you as an individual have to be entertaining enough for people not to care about the actual editing behind the content itself.
Word.
Because Soul Illuminati, he doesn't really try to edit his videos at all. But he's entertaining enough as an individual to where people will just sit back and watch. So
I think Flight does that too. Flight
does that as well.
He doesn't edit his videos at all.
He doesn't edit, but he makes things entertaining just because how ignorant he is. Is he ignorant or is he just like that?
He might just be slow.
He's slow?
Probably.
I'll take that back because if he's like mentally unstable, then
he's stable. He's stable. I spoke to him a few times.
What does that mean?
I mean, I spoke to him off camera, so I know what he's like off camera.
He might have just been chilling.
And he's mentally stable.
Oh well, I mean, is he like competent enough to make his own decisions?
I don't know. Sometimes I'll be watching him read and I'm not sure anymore.
Oh yeah, Flight might be. Yeah, I don't think Flight can read.
He might not be able to. Where did he grow up? What's that school system?
In Florida, I think. Okay. So yeah, I don't think Flight. That's why I be kind of holding back on. Like, I don't want to like say something about Flight because he might not be.
What if he's like dyslexic or something?
Yeah, he might be dyslexic.
Huh? Say it.
Dyslexic.
That word. Repeat that word.
That word?
I just say the full thing.
Yeah, I don't think he knows how to read. Yeah, I don't. So I don't want to say nothing about Flight because I don't know what his.
I'll say this before we get off this bad content topic.
He's hilarious though.
If it's part of your appeal to make bad content, go for it. If it's not part of your appeal and it's definitely not working, then please stop doing that.
It's not working in the NBA community. I'm just let y'all know that right now. It's not.
Oh, that I don't even think it works in that department.
No, it can't.
Yeah,
because none of y'all are entertaining enough for it to work.
Word. But to take it as criticism because there's a lot of people that take shit like this to heart. But it's like, how has nobody told you that yet? If this is your first time finding out, you need to reevaluate your circle very quickly.
If you have made a video trying to explain how Karl Anthony Towns is going to be on the Warriors, you make bad content. Like that's just what it is.
Yeah.
If you made a video explaining how Karl Anthony Towns is going to be on the Warriors, you make bad content.
And don't do that, guys, because when you blow up, if you're good enough, you will.
People are going to go back and
they're going to do what you did. Don't inspire bad content. It's not just about you anymore. It's about everybody on YouTube. Don't do that to us. Because when I started making videos was after I saw C Nanners and Hush to them commentaries. And at the time, just talking over some gameplay and being really good at the game, that was good content at the time. That was valid for the era. And so it inspired me to do the same thing. And so it's like, you're inspiring people with your actions and people follow you. There's a reason they use that corny term influencers. Don't influence people to do some dumb shit, make some horrible decisions. You know what I mean?
Facts.
You got these people watching you and they look up to you for some reason. I don't know why they look up to some of y'all. Because especially when you talk to people like behind the camera and you're like, oh man, you're horrible. Like, I don't know how I'd have like, I've been.
Well, I haven't talked to a lot of people. I just talked to Phantom, Duke, and Davis, and that's it.
Yeah,
so I don't know nobody else behind the camera. Like that.
Yeah, guys, be a good influence. We'll leave it on that.
I ain't trying to talk to them people behind the camera.
Peer-to-peer podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This is a YouTube exclusive, so it's not gonna be on Spotify, iTunes.
Man, you really gonna have me edit this too?
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, you're gonna have to edit it. We're getting the hang of this podcast stuff. You see how we got this fancy ass mixer with sound effects? Nah, I'm not gonna hit no sound effects.
Please don't.
But yeah, we're posting these 1 or 2 times a week, so make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
2 times a week. 2 times.
2 times a week. Make sure to subscribe.
In the beginning of the week, end of the week, 2 times a week. Facts.
All right. What the fuck y'all waiting for? You've been here for like an hour. Go away, man.
No, don't go away. Subscribe. Hit the noti, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, we need you out of here, my guy. It's time to head out.
Whoa, stop.
It's time to head out.
Hit the subscribe button, Noti Gang. Follow us on Twitter. Follow him on IG. He becoming a Fashion Nova model, you know what I'm saying?
I'm already a model.
No, but Fashion
Nova. You got 27K likes on a photo of you modeling the latest Fila gear, and you got a Puma sponsorship?
My bad. Puma, all right, you right. Yo, but hit the subscribe button, though.
Oh, they can see me while I stand. We can start standing on the pod.
Why? Oh, it's good. The arm.
Ayo.
The AO podcast. That's a. You took it back. You took only the real ones gonna know about that. Man, cut the fucking.
You cut the camera.
Man, Jesus.